Brent, you look at what happened with Meta, they beat, but the spending guidance seems to be something that investors are not quite comfortable with, in that the shares are lower in after-hours trading. They're not upset about it either because the stock is not moving by a large amount. What are you anticipating to hear from Mark Zuckerberg on the conference call that would shed more light on the spending guidance?
Yeah, I mean, look, the stock's up 67% year to date, so it was a tough bar to clear. I mean, I don't know what they could have said to have the stock go materially higher based on where they're at, and they effectively bracketed the street's guide for next quarter. And like every other tech company, capital expenditures are significantly up. The age of AI, the beginning of the curve of the adoption, this is when you spend. You don't spend after your competitors take all the share. You spend ahead of the curve. And so I don't think this is anything different than we've heard from any other tech company. Google said the same thing, significantly higher capital expenditures in 25. Meta, same thing. Let's write the script for Microsoft. They're going to say the same thing. Amazon's going to say the same thing, okay? Mm-hmm. All the hyperscalers are going to do the same thing.
I guess this is kind of a thought exercise.
Oracle's doubling their CapEx spend. So, you know, they actually brought down their operating expense spend a bit. So this is all about CapEx. And everyone says, well, why is it going to pay off? Well, look at Google. They just effectively have $22 billion of incremental backlog, and they just spent $22 billion in CapEx incrementally over the last year. Is it paying off? It is. So it's paying off on a lot of figures. In terms of all these use cases, that's the question.
Right.
And still have yet to see all those at this point, but we think it will pay off.
So, I mean, that is the big question that investors are grappling with. Will it pay off? But can companies disappoint investors if they don't spend as much as they perhaps intended to, or what people are, modeling out for them? I mean, are investors rewarding or punishing the FOMO mindset?
Well, right now, none of these stocks are getting punished because they're all up massively. I mean, Google's up 25% year to date, Meta's up 67, Amazon's up 27. So again, I hear the fear, but the reality is, again, we repeat this over and over. AI needs three things: capital, users, and data. And all the hyperscaler platforms have that. No one else has it. Yeah, and so it's a really boring storyline. Yeah. They all benefit because of those three factors, because there are not that many companies that have that. And so right now, these companies are getting the benefit because they've done this in past cycles. You know, people forget, Microsoft put a lot of money into Azure. No one knew what Azure was. Everyone's like, AWS is going to kill them. What happened? Azure's the entire story at Microsoft. So is there a historic track record that these companies have made the right bets and it's paid off? The answer is yes.
Yeah, and I think, in fairness, Brent, I think most investors are in your camp here. And I mean, that's evidenced by the share price reaction had prior to today. Obviously, a little bit of pullback in the after hours trade, but who knows? I mean, that's always distorted. I'm curious if you can just go look a little bit more longer term as to what the sort of the future of all of this spending ends up looking like. And particularly, is it going to be where, like a Microsoft, where they're just kind of integrating a lot of the AI benefits into existing products? Or is it going to look a little bit more like maybe what Meta's trying to do, which is to do that, but also to have something that's much more consumer-facing and much more standalone product, like those Orion glasses that they debuted a few weeks ago?
It's a combo of both, to answer your question, but a lot of this will be embedded in the experience. So you as a user, and you're one of the 3 billion people that use their platform, they log in and you get what you want. You effectively can understand what you're anticipating. It's baseball season, so when I go on to type in MLB, it probably is trying to see, hey, what happened to the two fans that got thrown out of the game last night? Yeah. What about tonight's game? Who's in the lineup? Yeah. Like, it's anticipating and giving you what you want, rather than you having to search and go deep for it. For advertisers, it's going to let advertisers create campaigns easier for less money. And so if users are there and they're getting a better experience, the advertisers are going to be there. And if the advertisers can do this faster because AI is enabling them to create these campaigns quicker, they're going to stay there versus going to the newspapers or going to TV or going somewhere else, right? Yeah. And that's what we're seeing right now in the data that we see. So yes, there'll be some cool aspects of you get your glasses. only one person in your family, it can show up. No one else is going to see this. I want to know my daughter's calling me. That's the only person I need to hear from. Yeah. So, the glass is going to have a really interesting use case. But I think that's a long ways out. I don't think that's going to have an impact in the next year or two.